The Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In in Katy returns Saturday morning, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. This fun and fabulous event attracts the best rides in town. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all in one place. The Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a 3-hour friends and family event. Loopy's will have breakfast tacos, coffee, and the best cars, all at one location. The Loopy Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. at Loopy's in Katy. The Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. It's the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Show. Just ahead in this hour, Richard Tomlin joins us to talk about the Wrench Rally. Inside our new car showroom is the Chevy Colorado. We'll give you an in-depth review, including the MSRP. You'll also get this week's automotive news, Conrad's Car Clinic, and the stories making auto news headlines this week, all just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show for Saturday, November 7th, 2020. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, and Jeff Zekin is a little bit off camera over there, handling the video aspects of the show this morning.
Jeff is a little bit off, for sure.
There's no doubt about it. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us, and we really appreciate that. And our guest right off the bat this morning is a good friend of our show with Apex Auto Works. His name is Richard Tomlin. Richard, good morning to you. Where in the world are we?
We're at Eagles Canyon Raceway up just north of Denton, Texas this morning.
It's out near Decatur. I've been there.
Yeah, that place.
What is going on out there? It looks like a beautiful morning, and the cameraman is a little drunk.
It is amazing this morning. It's a little noisy. Sorry, we got the Spec Miatas out there making a lot of extra noise for us. But fall SECA Roundup, one of the last races in our region closing out this year.
Well, very nice. And obviously you're not participating in that event, but are you participating in some...
That's the one you want? No, I'm out here participating as crew. I've got about 7 cars that we built. We're helping the guys out, making sure tire pressures are right, oil, overflow, water, chasing issues this morning. That's just how racing is, right?
Yeah, well, we appreciate you taking the time out to join us this morning on what looks like a beautiful morning up there in North Texas.
It is a good Texas day. Very, very nice out here.
So Richard wanted to talk to you about the Wrench Rally, apparently, that you participated in or had something to do with.
Very coordinated.
Why don't you give us a little background on the Wrench Rally, if you don't mind, while we look at all the good stuff going on out there?
Yeah, so the Wrench Rally basically started out as we have a lot of friends and we wrench on cars and we work on cars and have continually been looking for a way to give something back to society other than just fixing cars. And we run a lot of cars in Lemons and SCCA, and the joke was always, well, if you can buy a car for $500 and race it for 24 hours, then why can't I buy a car for $1,500 in Seattle, Washington, drive it to Houston, and give it to a single mother, give it to a single father? And that's what we've done. We flew out there. We purchased 15 vehicles. Only 14 of them started the event, but all 14 made it to Houston, and we donated 6 vehicles to single mothers, single fathers across the Houston area.
When did this project start and finish?
Oh, wow. The actual race started, or the rally started on a Friday morning, a Thursday, and we finished here Sunday in Houston at Einar's Garage.
Very nice. So was that about a week?
Oh, no, this is 2.5 days.
Yeah, they left
2.5 days.
You left Seattle on a Saturday morning?
Friday morning at 7 a.m. You arrived in Denver Saturday between 9 and 3, and you had to be in downtown Houston by 5 p.m. Sunday.
on a $1,500 car that you knew very little about. But you guys,
there was an $800 Honda Civic that only had a tire blowout. And the best part about that is that when they bought the car for $800, it came with an extra set of rims and tires. So they just took one of the four out of the back and put it on the car.
Oh, my gosh. This is kind of like an episode of Roadkill by about a dozen or so, isn't it?
Right. It's Roadkill with a twist because the goal was to go have a little bit of fun, see parts of the country we had not seen, see some of the historical monuments, which you got points for in the rally, and then turn around and give it to a family. And, 3 of the 6 we donated were minivans. We donated 2 Honda Audacies and a Dodge Caravan.
So who were the participants and how did they get involved in all of this, Richard?
Most of them came as friends of mine that hang out with me too much and probably have too much beer with us. But we did have some people from Phoenix. We had some people from South Carolina, Seattle, all marketing on Facebook. We just reached out to some of the people we race with, and here's what we're doing. Here's how much fun we think we're going to have. And it was 20 times what we expected. It was a really, really great experience.
So you also had kind of a cleanup truck kind of follow the crowd through. How much work did the cleanup truck have to do in case somebody's car did go down?
Well, so that all changed too, and we did have a service truck. It was my truck that I used for the Mexico rally. We ran it as a service truck chasing. We called it a chase truck. But all they did was one alternator. By the time they got to the guy changing the tire, he was already done.
Oh, wow.
So we lost an alternator on the Haggerty van. So Haggerty Insurance was a sponsor of the event. They're one of them that bought the Honda Audacy. Between Haggerty and Christian Brothers, the event couldn't happen without them.
How cool is that? And then who did you coordinate with about finding the needy moms and dads to give the cars to? Who was the coordinating?
So this was something I was unaware of. A local shop, national franchise called Christian Brothers, runs a organization called The Hub. And basically, if somebody abandons a vehicle or neglects a vehicle at Christian Brothers, they're just not going to fix it. Christian Brothers will take that thing over time, fix it up, and then they'll end up donating it to a family in need.
Okay.
So we donated all 6 vehicles to their foundation, 501c3, and they are all being gone through, cleaned up, stickers taken off, and being delivered to families around Houston.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how many cars are left at shops uncollected, where the shop ends up filing a mechanics lien against it, and then they own it. What a great opportunity to give that car away to a needy person.
Yeah, this is about making everyone's life around us a little bit better. That was the whole purpose in this. And we get to have fun while we're doing it. It's even better. We've got another one scheduled where we're going to run to Daytona. We're going to do the 24 hours of Daytona, and then we will rally back to Houston on Old Highway 90 coming along the coastline. So it should be a Sunday evening, Monday, Tuesday rally. We'll be back from Rolex 24 Hours.
That'll be an interesting drive down 90. That's a cool road. Now, Richard, you had some interesting vehicles. I mean, you mentioned the minivans. Obviously, that's going to a needy family, which is great. But didn't you have a couple other entries that were a little different?
Yeah, so we had a Mercedes manual Roadster. I'd never seen one of them manual. Audi S4 showed up. We had a limousine. Who would have thought a limousine, but they bought it for $1,500. I didn't get in the limousine. Other people did. They've been tested for COVID since. We had a truck, 76 GMC 2500, 350, 4-speed manual, or 4-wheel manual on the floor for 4-wheel drive. But they ended up losing the rear axle on the way to the driver's meeting. Drive shafts fell out, and as Conrad will tell you, when drive shaft falls out, it gets bent. Got bent, and there was no way to get one overnight, so they sold the vehicle off to a local gentleman, and it is actually running and driving and now tagged in Seattle. So it was something they saved out of a junkyard.
So did they turn around and get something different to make the run, or just
No, they hopped on a plane and beat me back to Houston. So they were back in Houston that evening, but they've already secured an RV for the Daytona to Houston rally.
So how many?
Bringing an RV back.
We know how many cars. How many people were involved? Would you estimate?
We had 37 people total for the rally. So some teams had 3, some teams had 4, one team had 5. It was a great mix of people, and I introduced myself to some new friends out of town, JC Supercars, which you guys will get a chance to talk to them eventually as well. They'll be in town, but they give away a car a month through their shop in Arizona, and are giving away 12 cars for the month of Christmas of December for Christmas.
So Richard, the In Wheel Time Show really wants to know, first of all, how big is the chase truck? But more importantly, how do you gather up parts for a dozen cars and put them in the back of the truck in case, the alternator falls off? How does that work?
It was more about having the tools to take everything apart, identify what's there, what we need to fix, and then the chase truck can run to town to fix and secure that.
Go get the parts.
So you didn't. It really wasn't a chase parts truck. It was just a chase truck that actually went and got the parts and brought it to you.
Yeah, not leaving you stranded in the middle of Montana when it was 20 degrees as people were coming through the mountains.
Yikes.
Didn't seem like a good plan.
Saw some of the pictures of the snow and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool that you got to see all of that and do all of that.
So you had
amazing part of the country that I'd never been to. So that was part of the reason why we picked Seattle. People also said it was the farthest point in the U.S. that you can actually pick to drive back from. It's actually further than New York. It was a 2,400-mile trip from Seattle to Houston, the way we went.
So of all of those cars that you brought back, you only had one problem, and that was a flat tire?
Flat tire, and then the Haggerty team had an alternator on the Audacy that failed as they were leaving town. Service truck wasn't 10 minutes behind them. They start taking the alternator out, and that's when it started raining. So it is Seattle. What do you expect, right?
Right.
They were laying. It's a Honda Odyssey. The alternator's underneath, so they laid in the water for a little bit. But they had them back on the road less than 45 minutes. They were able to coast into an AutoZone on battery power, got it swapped out, put them right back on the road. So the end of that night, they caught back up with the other teams.
So that was Angelica?
Angelica's team, yep, from Haggerty. She's on there all the time.
So you had Angelica laying underneath the truck, putting the alternator in?
Oh, no. She was just standing outside cheering for everybody doing the work. It was great.
Well, Angelica Houston from Haggerty, she's a friend of the show as well. We have her on with some frequency.
I'm going to get you guys introduced to Andy from Christian Brothers. He's good people, and he was really instrumental in securing where we were donating these. We had a couple charities local we had talked to. They didn't seem real interested in giving our vehicles directly to somebody. They were talking about selling them at an auction, and that's not what we did. We went out there with the mindset of buying a vehicle that we were going to come back and give to a single parent. We wanted something that was functional. The teams that did not donate their vehicles, two of them specifically were father-son teams, where they went out and they bought the son's first vehicle, and then father and son made the trip back to Houston with the vehicle.
Oh,
so
cool. What a cool experience.
Yeah.
Very special memories that were made on the trip, not just giving back to society.
So the vehicles themselves. So you mentioned that for the Daytona run, somebody's already secured an RV to bring back.
Yep.
So,
yep.
I mean, were they buying these ahead of time, or they had to wait until they got there? How did that work?
The original concept was we wanted everybody to wait until they got there. And people got to the point where they felt it was better to purchase one before and know what they were getting into. So, like you guys were talking about spare parts. There were teams that ordered spare alternator, spare starter, had it there when they landed on the ground, and we're changing some of that stuff.
Richard, your finger is over the microphone. Richard, your finger is over the microphone of the cell phone, so it's kind of hard to hear you.
I'll change my hand. That's fine.
That's good.
They would basically order the parts early, like the team that had the Honda Odyssey. They had an extra starter. They had an extra alternator waiting for them when they hit the ground. Went and picked up the van, and they basically carried it with them as a spare. Some teams changed stuff out in the parking lot. We had a team that did a timing belt change in a parking lot, a couple of water pump changes that happened before we left. But these are all wrenches. These are all mechanics, and that's what makes the program work.
All right, so let's go back to where you are right now and the event that's going on up there in North Texas. I noticed that over your left shoulder, there's a house back there. Did you guys buy that for me to be able to take care of the facility and leave me someplace to live, or what?
Right. We need to take a look at that on Airbnb and see if that's available for you.
Is there? So you don't think that there's anybody living there currently?
There's a full family there and two very large dogs.
Oh, okay. So I'm glad that you drilled it down that far. So tell me.
Walking over there, they're that large.
I see.
It was like, I just don't want to tempt that.
Yeah. So I want to know more about this facility. It's a road course, clearly. How big is it? What's the name of it? Where is it located specifically?
This is a 2.7-mile road course in Decatur, Texas, just north of out in the hill country is what I call it, because we don't have hills like this in Houston. But the elevation changes here make it absolutely fantastic racing facility.
So it's probably not quite of the caliber of Circuit of the Americas, but it'll do in a pinch.
It is It is actually better than Circuit of the Americas, in my opinion. And I'll say this. So Circuit of the Americas was built to run F1 cars around, cars that can run 210, 220 mile an hour.
Yeah.
When you take some of our basic production cars out there, you're topping out at 90, so you're just sitting there changing your radio station, looking for 97.5 FM, right? You're looking for some and wheel time to listen to on the backstretch.
Yeah.
Because it takes you so long to get down at the front stretch. Whereas this is a much smaller track, a much busier track, a lot more driving skill required. Here, F1 has tons of driving skill, don't get this wrong, but they're doing 200. We're doing 90. It's not the same corner at 90 as it is at 200 mile an hour.
So are they racing a full round of SCCA classes up there, or it's pretty much hanging out with the Miatas?
No, we've got 5 groups making up 37 classes today.
Oh, my gosh. 37 classes. Now, do you put more than one class on the track at the same time?
Up to 7 on the track at the same time.
Up
the
to
last group is one we call Alphabet Soup, and I think they had 7 groups in that one session.
Oh, my gosh.
But we've got 111 drivers today, so there'll be a lot of racing going on over today and tomorrow.
Where would my 2001 Corvette, stock Corvette with a 6-speed manual fall? What class would that fall into?
You end up falling either you do a touring class, which you would be beat down in there because they make you weigh so much, or you would actually build it to like a GT1 car. So if you look up Lou Galati Corvette on any of your Google images, that would pull up what your Corvette would morph into.
Well, no, I don't want to spend any money. I just want to go out.
He just wants to drive it on the track.
Yeah, that's all I want to do.
Then we get you out to a time trials or a track sprint where you don't actually have to put a cage in a race car to go race.
Well, that's
what he needs.
That's exactly what I do. They have that kind of event down there at Houston Motorsports Ranch
Resort?
We do have that, and I'm one of your hosts for that, so I'll make sure you get an invitation.
Would you please? And when is when that event is going to be held?
Next year.
A small one coming up November 22nd that's going to be up north. Our next event will probably not be till New Year's. New Year's Day is what we're looking at right now.
Fun. Okay.
So Don gets to drive and have a hangover.
Well, I mean, that's his choice, right?
I don't think I'll be doing the hangover if I'm driving. No, that won't happen that particular day. Well, how fun is this, Richard? I mean, you must be having a blast. You might, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, life is pretty good, man. It's amazing what can happen. We started Wrench Rally. We didn't know what was going to happen. I knew I had about 5 teams that were going with me no matter what. But to pull out, sponsors that were helping us so graciously, as Haggerty Roadster App, Christian Brothers Automotive, Einar's Garage, Houston came together in great support of the event. And now out doing some SCCA racing, as I'm always doing. And we'll start building some more cars next week.
Well, I remember because I was on your messenger group for Wrench Rally, and you guys had even said that going into Seattle, a lot of the people knew you guys were coming into town to buy these $1,500 cars.
It was interesting how many people knew which cars were being bought and who was seeking them. I think one of the more odd stories was one of the guys that came from Seattle back to Houston. At Einar's Garage, it was Einar's neighbor that he had lived beside like 15 years ago. So super small world stuff going on as well. We had a team that stopped here in Dallas to get coffee on the way through. A lady had actually heard about the Wrench Rally because one of her friends had actually flown up to do video for us. So it's a very small world, and if you're doing the right thing, media seems to get a hold of it and support you in what you're doing. So.
People like it. They want to be involved. They want to be part of it whenever it's a fun thing like that.
Well, Richard, it's always great to talk to you about this event, the Wrench Rally, and your business, Apex Auto Works. And we thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day up there to talk to us. We appreciate you.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah.
You run across a Candida Romanelli up there? She runs that SCC stuff there at that track.
Okay.
But if
what
you do,
car do you know?
I don't remember what she's got now. She's got a couple of cars. If you run across a little short blonde that drives real fast, tell her we said hello.
Absolutely. I'll take care of that.
Okay. Well,
you'll have a great show.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for joining Don's Dating Service, and we'll talk to you later. Richard Tomlin, Apex Motor Works.
How fun is that?
It is fun. Exactly. All right.
One of these days, we're going to have to go.
Yeah. I want to do that New Year's Day thing. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I want to see if he gets into the Daytona, 24 hours of Daytona. He said going to do that and then come back. If he can package it to where you could get into the event, and then come back to Houston?
I'm sure that's the plan.
No. The Houston event. I'm not going to go anywhere to do that. I'm just going to, have somebody drive my car, show me how to drive it, and then let me get behind the wheel.
Well,
that's what I want.
Here's what we can do. You can bring the car to Daytona. I can buy it from you for $1,500, and then we can drive it back.
A claim race.
Thanks for joining us on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Time now for this hour's car review. I'm sorry, did I ignore you? Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Quite well.
Time now for this hour's car review. And Mr. Mars talks about the new Chevy Colorado.
Yes, sir. We're talking about the new, the 2021. This is one of the first 21s that I've had the chance to look at. And it's the Chevrolet Colorado. It's the midsize pickup truck from Chevrolet. GM's got two of them out. They got cousins. But this is the Colorado, the ZR2.
He told me it was the 2020, but that's okay.
I understand. But then I actually did my car review and realized it was a 2021.
All right.
So the interesting thing I found out about this vehicle, let me start with this. The Colorado, you can get it in this now. They've dropped the base model. You can't just go in and say, I want the base trim. The trim, they do have three. It's a work truck, then the LT, then the Z71. But they also have the ZR1 and the ZR2. Now, the ZR2 is their performance vehicle. Rod Hall Racing has actually ran this vehicle the first time when it debuted in 2017 during some of the desert races, and they've continued to run it since that time as the ZR2 package. And you can get some factory race parts to go on this vehicle. Of course, they'll fit on some of the other Colorados, but it's got all kinds of things. And up front, you're going to find for the 21 model, you're going to find that it's got a revised bow tie up front, and it's got embossed tailgate on it, so it doesn't really have the same tailgate that the other Colorado does. And up front on the grill, it's got a flow-through Chevrolet nameplate on it. And it's exclusive to the ZR2. It comes with a factory 2-inch lift. It's got a 3.5-inch wider track on it because of the wheel offset and the fender flares that are on it. It's got multiple skid plates on it because of the off-road performance aspect of it, off-road shocks, got projector headlamps, factory fog lights up front, easy lift and lower tailgate. Comes with 17-inch graphite wheels, or you can option up to some 20s on that one, but we had the 17s, and of course the fender flares covered it. And so it gives it this great off-road look for a vehicle, and it almost makes it look as big as one of the full-size trucks, to be honest about it. Now, it came with the leather seating package, jet black, a lot of black on the inside of this vehicle. The front seats are heated.
You remember Rat Patrol?
Oh, yeah.
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 You just need a 50 caliber. In the back over the roll bar.
Well, maybe we could do a recreation and mount a 50 caliber back there in the bed.
And do it in the wrench rally.
Yeah, no. Just do it.
Yeah,
do it down
our way through.
Just do it down the freeway.
Yeah.
Like
see if it draws any attention.
There was a Jeep on Facebook that had one.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, while you're waiting on the police to come in and bust you for that, you can sit in the heated front seats and you can fold down the rear seat so that you can have plenty of room to put all your cargo in there that you're going to need, maybe even a sleeping bag while you're doing your time. So up front in the technology world, you're going to find it's got the Chevrolet Infotainment 3 system on it, got a nice 8-inch screen on it. Apple CarPlay, Android, all the convenience controls for your air conditioning and everything is going to be right there, including the teen driver system that GM has developed. That's really cool. Got embroidered headrests on it. But there is a lot of black on the inside of this vehicle. I will tell you that. Now, you get up under the hood, you're going to find a 3.6-liter V6 engine that was in this model, 308 horsepower at 6,800 RPM, so you got to wind it up a little bit. 275 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. Again, it's running a little bit higher RPM range to me, but it's got an 8-speed automatic transmission, so it sets in there and it can find the gear, and it can set there pretty good. Tow rating is 5,500 pounds, properly equipped. EPA says you should be looking at 16 miles to the gallon in city, 17 on the highway, 18 combined. My week that I had the vehicle, which we did, we worked on a little bit.
10 miles to the gallon because he had his foot in it the entire time.
I got an easy 16 out of it.
Oh, my gosh. You're a lead foot. Tell us you were driving it in four-wheel drive all the time.
We did try that out, too. And I will say that the engine and the transmission combination, it's a pretty smooth running gear train, and it shifts pretty easy unless you're into it, and then it'll shift a little bit harder if you want it to. So out on the highway, you're going to find that the ride, it's going to be off-road firm. It is a truck. And it is set up with some heavy-duty shocks and some suspension pieces. The weight of the cast iron or the steel skid plates and stuff kind of help offset some of that. But it does have – well, they're heavy.
Okay,
whatever.
Go ahead.
But it gives you a real solid feel out on the freeways. You know, at freeway speeds, it's not like – it's going to have all this wobble or something because it's an off-road vehicle. It will cruise at a speed that.
I just want to interrupt here. Could you just go ahead and put that on a wide shot? I just want to interrupt here and say, if I were Chevrolet, I would never let you borrow a car ever again in my life.
Oh, gosh, don't say that on the air.
I wouldn't. I mean, he's probably tore it up is what he's done.
Well, let me tell you.
At least he tried to.
Let me.
He hasn't tore it up like some of the other guys out there have.
No.
There's a lot of people have wrecked cars. But nobody in this room.
Let me say, be careful how you say that. Let me say that this vehicle comes with some special bumpers and some attachments to it, and
Did it drag you out of the sand?
No, it didn't. But I let me just say that ran another vehicle that was approaching close. Approaching close by, that these extensions on the rear bumper that are really useful for tying on to almost like tow hooks, but they do protrude from the rear bumper. And if you catch the right rear door panel and quarter of the car just right, I didn't catch it. He caught me.
I knew it.
But regardless, just barely scuffed the paint. Didn't they take any paint off? Scuffed the paint on the Colorado.
And it ripped the door off.
It looked like a can opener went down the side. In fact, the guy got out and he said, I'm going to have to get me one of these because if it can hold up like that. It was a sad thing. But we, anyway.
Oh,
so it holds up quite well under all the circumstances that I put it through. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for something to compare this mid-sized vehicle to, you're going to look possibly at a Toyota Tacoma,
the M1A1 Abrams,
a Ford Ranger, or even the new Jeep Gladiator. They've all got off-road packages that you can either opt up to or you can add the parts onto it. Now, the work truck trim level, which is now the base model of the Colorado midsize vehicle, is $25,200. So that's a base start. But you got to get up into the ZR2 where you're going to get all the suspension pieces and you're going to get all the off-road stuff that comes with it from the factory with a warranty. Starts at $43,200. Now, our MSRP tested was $50,145. So it's $43,200 plus options that we had. And if you start looking at these other vehicles and opting them up for capabilities to be the same, the closest one you're going to find is the Jeep Gladiator, obviously, with a Rubicon package, and that's going to be up in that $45,000+ range. So you get into that kind of caliber for what you want, and they're all going to be about the same.
Is this a long car review?
No, so that's my car review of the Colorado right there.
Okay.
It's good.
Only 10 minutes long. I mean, I'm glad.
Well, we got sidetracked.
We did get a little sidetracked.
Sideswiped, not sidetracked.
Sideswiped. Yeah, the doors were ripped off of it. Okay, time now for the international TV race calendar.
Well, we've already kind of gone over the race calendar, but let's talk about some of the national events.
I want to talk about the race calendar.
We just did. We
do it again.
So last week was SEMA, and that's why we had Randy on with Battle of the Builders, and that'll be on TV probably in January again. This weekend is the Fort Worth Auto Show. Sunday, tomorrow, is going to be the Houston Exotic Auto Festival at 5090 Richmond, which would be a great another place to go see a lot of high-dollar exotics. You know, that festival is going to be one of the most anticipated automobile shows in southern Texas because it's going to have the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, probably going to have, a pretty large collection of Bentleys, and I hear there may be a Bugatti Veyron there as well. San Antonio Car and Truck Show is November 12th through the 15th, and everything I hear is that's still on, correct?
No.
San Antonio was canceled? Well, they haven't posted that on their site.
Of course not, because they all got fired or went home.
Okay.
Or sick with COVID.
Well, it's a dealer auto show. That one is more dealer than any of the others that we have around here. So,
and then the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals in Rosemont, Illinois is still on at the Donald Stevens Convention Center the 21st and 22nd. Also on the 22nd is the Dub Show in Dallas. So if you want to go see a bunch of 22, 24, 28-inch wheel and tire packages, Be in Dallas. Yeah,
Right.
the Dub or the Donk Show.
All right.
And then the LA Auto Show supposedly is still on, but I can't imagine.
No, it's
in
not.
Los Angeles.
No,
They haven't changed
moved it. Oh, yeah, it's been announced.
Yeah, but they haven't updated their website.
Well, they may not have the website, but it's been announced.
Thank you for all of that. We appreciate it. I want to remind everybody that the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.